Welcome to Extra Throttle House. I'm Thomas.
And I'm James.
This is the Extra channel where we do extra things that are weird and different, like this. Well, it's not that weird. There's been a lot of these made.
This is another in the collection from Eclection Auto. Another eclectic car.
From the collection of a collection.
It's weird nowadays to see.
What is?
Like when you see one of these on the road, you're like,
It's cool. Yeah, but like a while ago, these were everywhere.
They were. So this is a 1998
Yep.
BSCC limited edition Mini, and it's a very, very nice spec, and therefore it commands quite the price. This is 41,000 Canadian.
Oh, that's a good chunk of change, but it's very clean. To be fair, this one is.
It's very. We actually looked into this.
We were considering buying a pair of Minis.
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Full disclosure, we were bored during COVID, and we're like,
we were going
what
to do contrasting color Minis.
Yeah. Like 2/3 of the Italian job.
Except we were trying to get them way too cheap, and so the ones we tried were just rubbish.
Crap. Yeah.
Whereas this is going to be interesting because this is a quality one.
Yeah, we've never driven a nice one. We only test drove the ones that were like 10 grand. And we're like, hey,
we can fix this up.
My foot goes through the floor, but I'll deal with that later.
So this has got the sport package, the wider wheels. It's got green leather on the interior.
Let's back up a second. If you're new to Mini Coopers, you don't know what these are or have any idea, this is the original Mini Cooper. There's obviously been changed slightly over the years, but the Minis that you see on the road now that are BMWs are not like this at all. They have modern suspension, they have different engines, obviously, they have more interior space, a completely different design car that is made to look like this. This is an actual Mini, which means the suspension is hard and stiff and it's tiny. It's really, really actually Mini.
It's not very safe.
No, it's not. This one is also right-hand drive. As God intended.
Correct hand drive.
Correct hand drive. Can we drive it?
Yeah, do you want to, are you familiar enough?
Yes, I will right-hand drive this. I can do it. I've been practicing because we're going to England soon and I'm gonna have to drive.
Okay.
So I need to practice anyway.
All right.
Okay.
In the Mini.
All right, I forgot that the steering wheel is almost like a table. It's so like,
oh yeah.
Like this is so much closer to me than that.
I feel like that's undesirable.
I don't know what's desirable.
It is Mini, but it's quite, this is a wall here. It's quite
lots
spacious.
Of space that way. The clutch throw is it's literally that.
Everything's tiny in this car. Everything's Mini. Even though the
Everything is
wheels
Mini.
are 13-inch, but funnily enough, that's quite good clearance actually.
It's not bad.
Our sound engineer, Harrison, is 6'6", and he has to jimmy into this a bit in a weird way, puts his knee first or whatever.
Yeah,
but he fits. He was ecstatic because he can't even fit in a Miata, but he can drive in this.
Sorry.
I think it's like 60 odd horsepower.
Yeah.
From a 1.3 litre.
4-cylinder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is why you buy a Mini right here.
I can feel it.
Can you feel this?
From here I can feel it.
Oh, it's so ridiculous. What am I in right now? I'm in second? I'm in second. Okay.
We've driven a lot of dog legs lately. It's nice to be back. But this is foreign for you to be on the left side.
Yeah, it's just about like dimensions. I don't have to worry about that in this car because it's so small.
Yeah.
Actually, the only car I've driven in England was a Mini.
Oh yeah.
A new one.
That was a new one, yeah.
I got it. I got it.
It's where fifth would be.
Yes, it does appear that way.
It doesn't have, this is 4 gears.
It's four speed, yeah.
Got rolly up windows.
Rolly up windows. I feel like I have to dodge stuff, but I'm having the mostest fun doing it.
The road is like 3 Mini widths wide.
I know.
You can drive all over the place.
Oh, I just did a heel toe in a second. Doing a U-turn.
Wow. It's tiny.
Okay, the turning circle is crap, weirdly.
Yeah, for such a small car.
Yeah. Should have downshifted to first. I'm flat out right now.
Yeah.
And
front wheel drive.
There it is.
How does this compare to like the Minis we drove that one time?
Those feel like cars. This feels like a Mini.
Right.
Very specifically a Mini.
I don't remember feeling this level of control and confidence in the engine and on those ones.
No, this is a much nicer example than we drove. Like this is why you do it right here.
It's hard though,
just,
right?
Like, take off and you just zip into the corner and down.
Some G's there. It's got a good grip.
It's got great grip.
So like, 40 grand, you know, you're not getting a new MX-5.
I want to autocross everywhere I go in this. It's so fun. The ride isn't actually that bad. There's no springs. There's just big rubber bumpers in these. Yeah.
Compare this to like the enjoyment of something like a new GR86.
Yeah. You know what? Equally enjoyable, but different types of enjoyment.
The road feels massive. Like you get to
Everything
experience.
does.
Like if you get in like a Ferrari, the road disappears like that. And if you get in a if you get in a BRZ, you get to enjoy it a bit more. This is the most ridiculous version of that, apart from like a BMW Isetta, where like there is so much road to enjoy here.
Yeah, that's what these are cool. And this is the thing, is that when we were looking at them, we had people trying to talk us out of them. You remember that?
Including my parents.
Well, yeah, there's your parents. Yeah.
They also said they weren't proud of me yet.
But that was part of the different conversation, or is
That's
it?
just how
or
they
they
say
just
hello.
throw it in? Do they throw it in
Yeah,
every
yeah.
conversation?
They got stop signs.
Oh, they got a stop
Yeah,
sign.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
good. Stop for the Mini.
Please stop for the Mini. But I could totally see myself owning one of these. You can get left-hand drive conversions if you find a right-hand drive one.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing you can do. You can custom dashboards. There's so much like aftermarket.
Oh my god. We just did that in a Citroen 2CV.
Didn't quite feel the same.
And we were at a 45-degree angle.
We're at a degree angle.
This feels planted.
It's like the most planted thing you could possibly drive, basically.
That looks like a very loose shifter.
It is very loose. I'm learning the gears though.
And what's the clutch like?
Once you get used to it, it's totally fine actually. The throw is so small, it's literally that far.
Okay.
But like I'm used to it now and I can drive it. I've installed it, so.
And the steering, it's power assisted?
The steering is incredibly like direct. Just
Yeah.
because there's no play in the suspension up front, right?
There's not much weight over it.
There's so much weight, and like you just turn the wheel and the
Yeah.
front goes in, right? It took like modern sports cars decades longer engineering to be able to make the front end feel like this,
Yeah.
right?
There's not much door going on. There's not much protection.
There's not much.
No, not much.
Yeah. No, I think what this has done for me right now is cement something. I love the Mini Cooper.
You love the Mini Cooper?
Yes, and if I had 10 cars, not 4, this would be one of them, almost for sure.
Interesting. With
Like,
yeah.
this is a great like zip out into the city and get ice cream car. That's what this
Listen,
is.
like growing up in England, these are a big deal. You know, when you went to buy a remote control car, on the shelf there was the cool ones that flipped when they hit a wall, and there were Mini Coopers
Yeah.
as remote control cars. Like everyone wanted some sort of Ginger Spice. Had the Mini Cooper behind her with the Union flag on the roof.
They're also incredibly cool looking and customizable, right? No one looks at you weird if you do a fun individual livery on a Mini Cooper.
Right.
You can
That in front of us is a Honda Pilot.
Yes, if you
Whereas a Mini could be your avatar.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. Very good. Very good.
You wear a Mini like you wear shoes.
I can see really getting into customizing one of these.
It feels quite quick.
It's not quick. Yeah.
And people do swaps, right? They swap them out with like the Honda engines and stuff. They do
Oh,
like
yeah.
the K swaps.
Yeah, K swaps, and like I drove one that was, I think it was K swapped, and it was the most terrifying thing I've ever driven in my life.
We've seen some nutty builds, and I do want to at one point film a crazy build Mini. Just
Yeah,
to
we've seen
experience.
some really crazy ones, but this is actually where this car feels at home. Honestly, it's just nipping through a subdivision, right? This makes sense to me. You're not going very fast, but it's fun all the time.
I like the experience when everything feels giant. It makes it feel like you got shot with a shrink ray,
Yeah,
and it's like, wow!
and you just kind of get to experience the world
Like,
from
look
a
at
different
Look
perspective.
at the size of that X6.
It's absolutely massive. No, my love for the Mini is still there. If you're thinking about buying one of these, I mean, do your research. We're not here to tell you which one to buy or which one not to buy, but if I was you, I would buy the cleanest one that you can afford so you don't have to worry about rust, so that you've got money left over if you can for modifications, because customize the heck out of it.
Well, this is imported from Japan.
This one is,
yeah.
yeah.
Collection, they import that, and that way it's kind of like rust-free.
No, yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah. If you can afford that, then just make sure you leave some money, because the first thing you're going to want to do is put your own dashboard, your own steering wheel, your own gauges, right?
Oh,
Different exhausts.
we started doing that. We started looking at cool dashes that you could do. We basically built 2 Minis.
We did.
And then never followed through.
We had them planned out. What were the colors? What were the colors of ours?
They were I think we had the blue, the dark blue with the white stripes, and a red with the white stripes.
And then on the roof, you were going to do a Union Jack, and I was going to do a Canadian flag.
Yeah, Union flag.
Sorry.
It's a Union Jack if it's on a boat. Are you on a boat?
No.
This isn't an NC Miata.
Hey.
Yeah, you own one of those.
Yeah.